Everybody hates the Elixir Loong, so today I'm going to play him and show you guys how you can win with him, despite me not liking him in the least bit. Now, in this game, we did manage to get goblins right at the bat, and that is really going to be helpful, and we're going to show you guys how you can win with this ruler. So, we are in a 3 Loong lobby right now against 1 Spirit Empress, and the whole goal with the Loong is to get the Spirit Empresses and the Kings out of the game early so that you can battle it out with the other Loongs late game, and this is a absolutely perfect start for us. We managed to deal some damage to this Empress, and we also get some good cards for ourselves. Now, we do see that we can go ahead and get both Rangers, and we can also get throwers. We do have the Goblin Synergy, which is super important with the Loong. You always want to go for the Goblin Synergy if you have the Loong, because you need the extra elixir that you're going to get from it. Now, I'm just going to keep my troops how they are, and then see what the RNG gives me next game. Hopefully, I can go ahead and win this round. If we don't win this round, it will be okay. I mean, the Loong still has 10 health, you know, like every other ruler in the game except the King. So, we are going to take 3 damage right here, but that should be okay. We are going up against the other Loong this round, so hopefully the other Loong in this lobby is going to be able to take out the Spirit Empress player. So, we see that we can go ahead and just sell these to start cycling and work on maybe a brawler's comp. Now with the Loong, you kind of just have to go with what you get, you know? You can't cycle through like when you're playing the Spirit Empress or even the King. Sometimes you need to just kind of go with the flow and get what you get. I'm going to go ahead and put in the goblins in at the last second, and that should hopefully save me some HP, and at the least it will get me extra elixir. And that's really the thing that you need to focus on with the Loong, is actually just getting elixir in the early game and building up a strong comp, staying alive, and then hopefully using your remaining RNG and the amount of health left to dominate the late game. Now, unfortunately, we haven't knocked this Empress out of the game yet, and here we are. Now we're playing against her, and hopefully we can go ahead and beat her. Now, we are running a P.E.K.K.A comp right now is what we're kind of looking at, so I'm going to go ahead and put this Wizard in and then that, but it doesn't really look good, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this in and then this for the P.E.K.K.A synergy. I don't know. I'm kind of just experimenting right now to see what I can get, and that was a really nice kind of sequence right there. So we are going to manage to get a ton of different troops. Now, unfortunately, this guy has a very good lineup right here. He's got the 3-star RG, and this is kind of what you run into when the Empress does manage to make it past the first couple of rounds with the Loong, and you just kind of have to hope that you're going to be able to outlast it. Now, maybe our Inferno Tower is going to be able to ramp up enough to take the RG out. It's actually going to be pretty close here. If we do knock this guy out of the game, it's going to be huge. Unfortunately, though, it's going to be super close, but we do not take him out. So now we just aim for second right here. So this is kind of where you're at with the Loong, is now you need to build up into what comp that you need. So I really don't know what to go for. I'm not very good at being versatile, so we're going to go ahead and put the Musketeer in here for the Noble synergy. We could also put in like the Princess, I guess, and maybe we could even run Noble. I don't know really what we should run here. It's all about knowing what comps are good and kind of just using the RNG that you have to get high-level cards. Honestly, I'm not very experienced at getting these high-level troops and stuff, so I'm going to put my Prince in the corner. And hopefully I can do something that's going to be able to keep us in this game. I actually can't stand the Loong. Everybody can't stand the Loong because the whole purpose of it is just to choke it out and rely on good RNG in the early game so that hopefully you can battle it out in the late game with the other Loongs. And honestly, I cannot stand how that strategy is, and we do lose this game. And this is why people don't like the Loong. It's because he's so RNG based the entire game. A large positive you do get with the Loong is that you rarely ever get 4th place because of your extra troop. So we managed to go ahead and get a lot of goblins in this round. Look at this start. This is very good for us. And we're going to go ahead and just try to knock out this guy's troops very early so we can hopefully deal 4 damage to him. Now, dealing 4 damage to a Spirit Empress in the first round is vital. We're going to deal 3 right here, which is okay as well, but it is absolutely vital to deal a ton of damage to the Spirit Empresses in the early game so they don't outpace you late game. You saw last game how the Spirit Empress managed to actually ramp up, and that hurt us a lot. So we're going to go ahead and get the Executioner for the Thrower synergy, so my Spear Goblin is going to do an absolute ton of damage, and this is how you're going to be able to kind of win the early game when you're playing with the Loong. You need to get very lucky with the RNG, and you need to use the Goblin synergy. Now, you also get an extra bonus elixir per round, so you're going to get 5 elixir every single round, which is pretty nice as far as the elixir economy goes, and it's going to allow you to build up a lot of elixir. Now, we are going to deal 4 damage to the King, which is going to be very helpful. Hopefully, the Spirit Empress, yeah, the Spirit Empress did take a lot of damage right there. Now, we continue to get some more of these goblins, which is going to be super helpful. But right now we can start to work on our comp. Let's go ahead and get this nice. We have 3 out of the 4 brawlers right here. I am going to go ahead and keep my dark goblin in. I could also put a regular goblin in, but I think the dark goblin would be better for some backline damage instead, and it would also kind of pair better with my frontline brawler. So hopefully this 3-star spear goblin is going to be able to carry us through these early rounds, and we're going to be able to build up a full brawlers comp. Now full brawlers is the best comp in the game right now, in my opinion. I really don't see anything that's better than it, and hopefully we can win this round. I mean, the mortar should help us out a lot with the modifier, and it does. The Spirit Empress is knocked out of the game, and now we are looking in a very good situation right here. Hopefully we can deal large amounts of damage to the king at once. That's how you have to deal with the king. You have to get a lot of damage in a little amount of time, because every single little loss that you give the king is actually helping it more than it's hurting it. Okay, so we have another prince that's going to be upgraded soon, which is going to be nice. We need the Mega Knight. That is the last card that is going to be in our full brawlers comp, and after that we are completely set. We still have the goblin synergy, which is going to be helpful. I should have moved my prince to knock the queen back, but I guess that's okay. We can go ahead and make it work. The executioner deals enough damage to take the wizard out, which is huge. That's going to be super helpful to us, and we are going to deal a lot of damage to this king. 4 damage, which is very good for us, and it's going to put the king in a losing position right now. We are against a dead guy in this round, so hopefully we can get a Mega Knight right here, but unfortunately we don't. So let's just go ahead and sell this to try and kind of risk cycle a little bit. I don't know what we should go for here, right? We have the goblin for the goblin synergy. We're going to win this round no matter what. So let's just go ahead and see if we can get a good cycle going here. Unfortunately, though, we don't get anything, but that's okay. We can go ahead and just try to not waste any of our elixir right here and utilize what we already have. If we do manage to get full brawlers, we should win this game, but we have to play with a lot slower pace because we don't have the same elixir as we would with the Spirit Empress. Now, if this guy manages to knock the king out, this will show you once again how good the Loong is about knocking all the other rulers out of the game. Unfortunately, though, it does look like the king might actually manage to win this round. Actually, I might have spoke too soon. Maybe, okay. Oh, that was really close. Okay, the king actually manages to win, but not by very much, which is showing us that the king actually isn't that strong right now. So we can go ahead and try to deal some damage to it. We get a 3-star P.E.K.K.A, which is going to be absolutely insane for us. Let's put the mini P.E.K.K.A in for the P.E.K.K.A synergy, and then there's really nothing else that we can do, considering that we don't have a Mega Knight. We've gotten very unlucky right here. The king did manage to get a 3-star queen, but we can go ahead and counter that once we make it past this round. Now, we need to make sure that we make it past this round because that's going to be very important for us. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and switch our prince and our goblin at the very last second to hopefully go ahead and just exchange stuns. He does switch his prince to go ahead and go on my P.E.K.K.A, which was very smart of him, but his prince is going to go down, and my prince is going to go straight to his backline, knocking out the princess, which is his highest damage dealing troop. I guess maybe the executioner is a little bit more, and we might, no, this guy's going to be alive at 1 HP, which is a little bit unfortunate for us, but still great. We're in a winning position right now, still at 10 HP. Now, let's go ahead and we get a nice merge on the Spear Goblin right there, and here's the Mega Knight. So now we have full brawlers, and we are going to win this game because look at this. We have the 7 troops in the late game. This guy is a 3-star queen, which is going to be a little bit problematic with the clan synergy, but we're going to use our prince to go ahead and knock that back and make it essentially useless. We have a 2-star Spear Goblin on our backline, and maybe we can even build up a 4-star Spear Goblin, which would be super helpful. Actually, no, we're not going to be able to do that because we don't have the goblin synergy. So I should just cycle through here because I don't have the goblin. I just realized that. So let's go ahead and move our prince to right here at the last second. It's going to knock the queen back into the back row and make it not be able to snipe my backline units. This is a very much a pro kind of tip for you guys that you definitely need to be doing every single time. And we are going to deal enough damage to knock this king player out of the game. Now that is absolutely insane. Getting a king player out later in the game, especially when that king player was playing full clan, which is a super solid comp. It's going to be super helpful to us. Now, I'm not going to take any risks to upgrade the princess right here because this guy has a princess already, so we're blocking him. He has the giant synergy, but it doesn't even matter because we can just win this game super easily. We basically already won. We have a better comp than this guy. Our goblins were able to get us enough of an elixir economy that we could go ahead and win in the later rounds. Now, I don't really know what to do. He does get a 3-star Dark Goblin right there, which is going to be pretty helpful for him, honestly. But I mean, it shouldn't matter. Let's just go ahead and okay, he does switch to the RG, which is smart of him. But I don't see how he can realistically win this game. My Executioner is going to take out his Mortar, which is going to be super helpful. His Princess is on my Spear Goblin, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, just look at my troops there. They're going to be able to just do so much damage. The 3-star P.E.K.K.A is really the MVP of this match. Look at how much he's tanking for. Look at how much damage he does, and we take a very easy second game win. And you can kind of see why nobody else likes the Loong. Okay, we're in another 3 Loong lobby, and all of us Loongs are just gonna go ahead and try and knock the king out of the game. We're gonna try and choke him out of the game because of our early game advantages. Now, this is the huddle up modifier, so we do get some extra bonus or elixir from the huddle up bonus, which is going to be very helpful. Now, with the Spirit Empress, you will often want to sell your huddle up troop to get more elixir so you can cycle with it, but that is not the case with the Loong, the king, or any other ruler that doesn't have a good early game economy. Once again, we do a lot of damage to this guy right here, which is super helpful. But with the huddle up modifier, you want to go ahead and keep that on your bench until it's a 2-star to make sure that you're not losing any elixir. That is huge right there. Getting the P.E.K.K.A right there was absolutely insane because we now have a 2-star P.E.K.K.A early game, which is going to just be so valuable to us later down the road. And we already have 3 out of 4 brawlers. So hopefully no one else ends up going for brawlers. I don't think anyone should, because they should be smart enough up here to know to not go for a comp that someone else is contesting. But if someone is going to a comp where you're contesting, there really isn't much that you can do because you don't have much potential to pivot with the Loong. Another reason why people don't like it, because it's so RNG dependent on what you get. Now, we do get a nice heal on the P.E.K.K.A right there, but we are unfortunately going to take a little bit of damage. That's okay. We can go ahead and take a damage down to 8 HP, and we get another P.E.K.K.A, which is super handy. Unfortunately, though, I didn't have the Goblin synergy, so that's going to be a little bit unfortunate, but honestly, we just got the full brawler, so let's go ahead and sell our 2-star P.E.K.K.A to keep our elixir economy flowing, and we're going to sell the skeleton dragons for the Mega Knight. And look at this absolute perfect situation that we're in right now. We can actually just put the prince right here, and hopefully it's going to be able to knock the queen back enough for us to do a lot of damage to this king. Now, like the Empress, you want to go ahead and get the kings out of the game early because they're going to have a lot of elixir once they lose. And look at how much damage we just dealt to this guy. He's at 1 HP now. Like I said, people hate the Loongs because they'll choke the other king users out of the game. They'll choke the Spirit Empress users out of the game. I guess even if you're playing maybe in a lower arena, you're playing the Goblin Queen, they'll choke you out of the game too. It is not fair, okay? So we have a decent amount of elixir right here. We have an insane comp with full brawlers, which is going to be super helpful to us. Our one counter will be Brutalist, okay? And the reason why it's going to be Brutalist is because the Brutalist synergy is able to deal damage based on your troops' percentage of hit points, which does also contribute to the brawlers, just because the brawlers has a plus 100% HP buff. The Brutalist is able to slice through that very easily based on the percentage of damage that it does. Now, let's see if we can go ahead and win this game. The mini P.E.K.K.A gets a very nice heal, and it does look like we're going to be able to both take out the king. That guy takes out the king, and I take out this Loong, and we have 2 Loongs in the finals once again. Second place is always a win with the Loong, but obviously we want better. So we're going to go ahead and continue to just cycle through here, and look at this absolutely insane comp. We have the P.E.K.K.A synergy, the Brawler synergy, we have Clan, we have Thrower. I mean, just everything you could possibly want from a synergy right here, and we have not even used the Goblin synergy this game because of the huddle up modifier. Now, this guy has used the Goblin synergy, so we should have higher level cards, but we should have better troops. Let's go ahead and put our prince right here to snipe the queen into the back line. And that's going to be super helpful for us because now our Executioner is going to be able to deal a decent amount of damage. Hopefully our Mega Knight can get that Mega Knight out of the way. Look at that. We just did a ton of damage to this guy. We might even knock him out of the game right here. We didn't even need to use the Goblin synergy. The Loong is busted. Here we are into our 4th and final game. We see that it is the huddle up modifier once again. And this is where the Loong is going to be challenged. Now look at the lobby. Look, and you notice that there are no other Loongs in the lobby. This is the only time the Loong is going to be weak, because you see that we have the king right here, we have the Empress right here, and we're not going to be able to choke out the Empress as easily as we would if there was a 3 Loong lobby. Now, we are going to do a ton of damage to this other king player, which is going to be super helpful later in the game. hopefully we can go ahead and get the Goblin synergy. But unfortunately, this Empress user was very lucky that the King player actually decided to purposely lose that first round. That's very unfortunate for us, right? Because the Empress thrives in the late game, and it's hard to get past the early game when you're playing the Empress. And when the King gives you a first round win, that basically is guaranteeing you another shot at basically an extra round to get more merges. And we noticed that this guy has 2 troops on the bench and a lot of troops and 3 troops on the field. So he has gotten a merge already, and he has a lot of elixir. Luckily, we're going to deal 5 damage to him, which is super helpful. And hopefully my other kings in the lobby can kind of get the message and start to take this guy out. But it's going to be super difficult for them to do so because of the amount of just elixir that they're going to get. Now, I don't know if I explained that well, but basically what we're going to do now is we're going to go for full Brutalist. And the reason why we're going to go for full Brutalist is because, well, we have 3 out of the 4 already. This guy is a 3-star barb, which is insane, by the way. Let's put this right here so it's not like as prone to splash. But we're going to go for Brutalist because we have 3 out of the 4 on the Brutalist, which is going to be super helpful. We're going to take a lot of damage here, I think, because, yeah, I mean, that's crazy to have a 3-star barb, especially with the King. But basically, we're going to use it with the Goblin synergy, and we're going to use that elixir to go ahead and try to build up a full Brutalist comp. Now, Brutalist is usually a comp that I run with the Spirit Empress, and it's really difficult to run it with the Loong. But because I did get the Valkyrie very early on, it should be able to go ahead and continue. Now, we did get another Valkyrie, which is helpful, but unfortunately, I really didn't get anything else. And 4 out of 4 Brutalist is so valuable that I need to go ahead and cycle through, and I did manage to grab the Skeleton King. Now, we did also get the Valkyrie back. So this is a very good position that we're in right now. We could go ahead and put the Barbarian in for the clan synergy, but I think I want to go ahead and just use this for the Goblin synergy right now. I really hope this works out. I haven't played the Loong much, and I don't know if this is a good decision or not. So let's see if this was a good decision. Look at full Brutalist right there dealing so much damage. And let's see, yeah, full Brutalist absolutely busted. We have the 60% health buff, and we're going to be able to knock this King out of the game. No, we don't knock him out of the game. The Empress goes down, though. The Empress goes down. That is huge. We're playing against Eagle, though, and Eagle right now, he has an absolutely crazy comp. I mean, this is just crazy. So hopefully we can go ahead and get like a 3-star of some sorts. Let's get the P.E.K.K.A here. We can upgrade the Goblin and then do it again. Is there anything? I mean, I think it's just worth it in the long run to go for. Yeah, I think I just have to go for some more merges. I think we're going to go for this on the Skeleton King. There's a Spear Goblin. Would the Spear Goblin be better? Okay, I think a Spear Goblin would be better. Let's go ahead and just put something. I don't even know. I don't think I played that good. His Queen's going to snipe my Spear Goblin in the back line. That's going to be bad. I don't know if there's anything I can do. There's nothing I could have done right there. Hopefully we can stay in this game, but that's really unfortunate. This guy had an absolutely insane comp, and that's kind of what happens when you have a 1 Loong against a multiple other rulers lobby. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me play my least favorite ruler. At the end of the video, we are 700th in the world, and we're going to be pushing even higher with the Spirit Empress. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.